Courtney Cossett. I'm Farron Hipp.
I'm Maggie Rodriguez. Thanks for joining us. Our first guest is bringing Hollywood to Tampa. Actor and producer Corin Nemec shot a movie here and fell in love, and not just with Tampa Bay.
So he started a new relationship, moved to a new city, and launched right into his new mission to bring as many productions as possible to Tampa Bay. And we're happy to welcome Corin Nemec. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What a pleasant time to be here, I can tell you that. And yes, you did introduce a...
She's over there.
Yeah, she's over there.
Love.
So yeah,
You know,
tell us the
section.
whole story. What were you shooting when you fell in love?
Well, I was working on a film down here with David Faustino, who's a very good friend of mine. He's married with children, and I was also working with the Scatter Brothers, who I'm working with now. They're a production company down here. They were doing a children's comedy movie called The Pet Detectives, and we happened to be filming at a property that Sabrina owned, and she came by to make sure that no damage was being done by the production, as it should be. And we just matched eyes and matched wits, and you know, now we're matching all the time. Even clothes. Yes.
This is an interview with us.
Yeah. So Sabrina Nova and I, actually, you know, interesting enough, because she does have interest in the film business and all that. We decided to start our own little production company down here together. And one of our first projects we'll talk about here in a little bit, but that's, you know, it's going to be done with the Scatter Brothers as well locally. And but go ahead, I'll let you guys direct me.
I know.
I have so much
So many things to talk about. Well, the first thing is, I know you have something showing at the Orlando Film Festival, and isn't it great that now you only have to drive an hour to get there? Tell us about Blackwater Blues.
Blackwater Blues is a television pilot for the independently financed one that I developed with Jason London, who's a good friend of mine and a fellow actor, a very successful actor. And that is a murder mystery that takes place in the Deep South along the Gulf Coast. It's about biker gangs and the Dixie Mafia and a couple of brothers whose mother went missing years before, and they want to find out what happened to her and who was involved. So that's kind of the setup, and that will be playing at the Orlando Film Festival on the 3rd.
November 3rd.
Steve Wise, who is also a Floridian and from Pensacola, also works with Pensacon, was our director on that. Great job. And we had a great cast, myself, Jason London, Creek Wilson, Marco St. John, a great local talent and legend in the area down there in Mississippi named Billy Miller, who's a very famous defense attorney. So if anybody needs one in South Mississippi, look him up.
Gosh, you must stay so busy. Didn't you just wrap up with Dead Man's Hand, too?
I did. I just I wrote a film with a director friend of mine, Brian Skiba, who we produced a Lifetime movie down here a number of years back called Deadly Excursion that we shot in St. Petersburg, which was great. The film commissioner, Tony Arman.
Arman.
That's what it is.
Arman.
I haven't gotten to meet him yet, but he works very close with the Scatter Brothers, Ben and Doug over there, and he's great. And I've heard that Ken Welch is great as a mayor down there, and so I'm excited about getting back down there and working, because we had a fabulous time the last time.
Dead Man's Hand, is that the one that Val Kilmer's son was in?
Jack Kilmer is in it, Stephen Dorff, Cole Hauser. It's based on a graphic novel called No Rest for the Wicked. And there's some shots from the set. An incredible cast, a great group of people, and the graphic novel itself, No Rest for the Wicked, was kind of an underground hit for Source Point Press that publishes it. So it was very exciting to do that, because we brought another graphic novel of theirs to life a number of years back called Rotten Tail, where I play a half man, half rabbit. A mutated, it's a comedy horror, but it was the same group of guys that I worked with on Dead Man's Hand. We did that one as well, so I'm very excited about that.
I know you've also ventured into dark comedy. Dark comedies, is that what Half Dead Fred is, or?
Yeah, Half Dead Fred, you could call it a dark comedy. Yes, Braun Theron is a good friend of mine. He's the writer-director of it. We kind of have known each other in the graffiti art scene. That's a side note, but I've been doing graffiti art since I was a kid, and murals and stuff. But he wrote and directed it. It's kind of a film noir. It's about a medium detective who can talk to the dead and all of that, and see ghosts. And so he solves murders by kind of talking to the dead or people who died at around the same, in the same place and all of that. It's very interesting, but it does have a dark comedic element to it as well. that I'm very excited about.
Wow. Wow. So you act, you direct, apparently you do graffiti art as well. What is your favorite of it all?
Honestly, I mean, it's all for different purposes. You know, being on set is where I feel most at home. You know, that's why I'm really excited about bringing some work here, because I travel so much for work. You know, it's really my intention to get grounded and start bringing productions to where it is I'm at. Which is going great so far. If I hadn't met Sabrina, I'd probably be doing this in Mississippi. But having made the transfer here, it makes more sense because there's a lot more talent in terms of people who know the business here, especially the crew. On the crew side, we ended up spending a lot more money than we wanted on the production, bringing people in from out of town to shoot there. So we're going to bring. I have a deal with a company called Capital Creative Management. Mark Klebanoff out in Los Angeles. We produced Lady Justice, which was our first Lifetime Channel style movie, independent thriller, female-driven, with Kelly Sullivan, Brian Krause, myself, Jason London was in that as well. Christiana Lucas, who's a wonderful Latina actress from Miami, did a wonderful job in it. And Kyle Rankin helped us bring that to life, who's attached to the film that we're shooting in December, The Shutdown. And Kyle Rankin, he's more famous recently for Run, Hide, Fight, that he directed for The Daily Wire, which has been a huge hit for them. And he's a fantastic director, great friend of mine, and excited to bring him here. So currently, myself and Jeremy London will be starring, in that. We're lining up the rest of the cast now. I don't want to unload too much, but that's very exciting. We're doing that again with the Scatter Brothers here. Ben Daniels, Doug Sherhart. I call him Doug T-shirt because it's easier for me to remember. But he's got a great team at Scatter Brothers, John Hall and Evan and Caitlin, and they have a great group over there.
Wow.
They're doing the physical and post-production, so they provide, it's like a one-stop shop. So I'm very excited to be working with those guys. And
it's all here in Tampa.
It's all here in Tampa. That's what I'm going for. Is
bringing all that here.
Yeah, because we have the Lifetime movies next year. I'll be bringing California money down here, and we'll be doing 3 to 5, hopefully more than that, per year.
Nice.
And but what I would like to see is the profits stay locally as well. So we're working right now, creating basically a film pool, a film finance pool to start doing productions. The first one will be The Shutdown.
Great.
And which is a romantic comedy that takes place during, the shutdown. So, but that said, it's a ton of stuff going on. We're gonna have to come back and do this again.
Thank you for sharing that with
My
us today.
pleasure.
And
My
congratulations.
pleasure. Yeah, you betcha.
Right.
And Phil,